Good Sunday morning. It's a little after 6 a.m. I think it's mid-June. And I just started a morning trail run / hike in from Gap Creek Reserve, and I'm heading out to do a little bit of additional recon of the Guzzler glass half full course, but also trying to get about 3 hours on my feet on the trails today. So, which, if I can pull it off, will be my longest on the trails so far. It was supposed to be 4 hours, but I had a bit of a delay to my start because my youngest child had to be taken to hospital because she had something in her ear that was causing her trouble. So that occurred. Car came back and just meant a bit of a delayed start, but daughter seems to be okay. The doctor has prescribed some medication, and we'll be collecting that when the shops start to open. But even 3 hours, I'm a little not worried by, but just it'll end up being about 2 hours 50, but just intrigued to see how I go. One of the benefits of starting later is I actually have some light, which is typically not the case. So it's nice to start the run that way because the sun will break the horizon in about 10 or so minutes. So we've got this morning golden hour, which is pretty to run, and I understand it's pretty to film, but probably a lot of shaking on the screen. But yeah, the section I'm trying to recon today is, instead of turning toward the Nogra Dam, I'm going to head in I think it's a westerly direction, and I guess do the reverse of what would be the return from Gold Creek Dam back toward the start of the Guzzler. So I've seen sections of it, I've run it, it's pretty runnable, the sections I did, but I just haven't been able to connect it back to this to sort of complete the experience. So yeah, hopefully my body holds up and we are able to do that this morning. Temperatures are perfect right now, and it looks like we will have predominantly a clear sky, so it is not feeling too humid, which is nice. Just gives the perception that your sweat can evaporate and actually cool you down, so that's always a win. I did still get up at 4:30 and wasn't too sure. Well, I've been up since my wife and my daughter went to the hospital, which was about 3-ish, and I couldn't really get back to sleep, so I just got up when my alarm went off for the earlier start, and I got on the stationary bike. But by the time I set up my own nutrition, as though I was essentially going to do this trail run, but do the time on the bike. So the fortunate thing was, when I learned that my wife and daughter were returning at around 5:40ish, I was pretty much able to just grab the stuff, put it into my backpack, and just get going to the trailhead at Gap Creek Reserve. So I'm quite thankful right now that I'm running with, or hiking again, with proper trail shoes, because we've had a fair bit of consistent drizzle in Brisbane over the past few weeks, and surfaces are very muddy and slippery, so it's good. Just gives me that extra bit of confidence that I certainly didn't have when I was just running in the Bondi 9s and essentially a road shoe. So, or definitely a road shoe. Anyway, keep trekking here. I'll check in probably when I hit the new section, or the section that's new to me at least. Get a sense of how runnable it is. Okay, so on race day, I'm gonna turn, I guess, northeasterly or northwesterly there, head towards Enoggera. But today I'm moving through in the reverse direction of the route that will join back up to head back to Gap Creek Reserve. So for me, this section is all new and it is really stunning right now. There is a fog blanketing the valley and the sun's just starting to really show. So they might get baked off in the next hour or two, but for now it's keeping it pretty cool. My watch is barking at me now because I'm technically off course as I'm heading in the wrong direction, so but I'm gonna keep it on so I can trace the map I don't know how much of this I haven't seen. I'm guessing 3 or 5 kilometers until I get to the extent that I ran out to last time. All these trees have little spider webs in them. They kind of look like little lanterns in the morning here, just based on the way the sun's refracting through them. So it's really pretty. Really pretty. Just another pinch myself moment that I get to enjoy by being the early bird. I am a little bit worried about what this is going to do to me today, because I must have got 3 hours of sleep if I'm lucky. So I probably should have stayed in bed, but at the same time, if I don't start getting my volume up, there's absolutely no chance of me finishing this Guzzler. So we got advanced black diamond mountain bike trails here. They just look like they switch back off a cliff. Pretty impressive what people can do on bikes. I don't think it's something that I'll get to master unless my running body completely breaks. It's been pretty runnable so far. I mean, that's a good sign for race day. Some people about 150 meters in front of me, so get to say good morning. This valley's pretty unaffected by the morning fog. Still pretty though. Yeah. Last weekend I did the 10k in the Brisbane Marathon Festival, but I ran to the start line from my house, so that was about 15k. Then had an hour, and then the 10k happened. I treated it as a training run, but you know, got a little enthusiastic, so pushed a little bit harder, but kept it comfortable. I felt amazing. Week before that I did, I think, 28-kilometer run just on the roads, so I didn't really have the time to get out to the trails. So I wanted to go long, but I didn't want to spend the time driving the car out to the trailhead, so just ran on the roads. But today is probably my first time back on the trails for long stuff in 3 or 4 weeks. So yeah, it's just generally feeling pretty good to be out. This is starting to seem familiar, but so I've well and truly overlapped now with sections of the Guzzler that I'm familiar with. The only part that remains is the final Kokoda ascent, which I haven't tackled yet, but I did my first recon. I did an out and back from the start line, so I went back up the steep hill that you descend at the front end of the course, and I don't know, but I get the sense that that is pretty representative of Kokoda. It was by far some of the steepest sections of these trails I've done, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna go do it, because it's a pretty short section and I'm supposed to be pumping out like several hours of running now, and when I start to taper I don't necessarily think I'm going to want to tackle the Kokoda, but perhaps that's naive. Perhaps I should be familiar with it before I see it for the first time at kilometre marker 50. So, but it is stunning when the sky's blue at the moment. It's really crystal clear, and sun still packs a bit of a punch, so hopefully I'll get back to the car before it's too hot today, but still not turning for a while yet. being on feet about 2 hours 30. Got about a kilometre left. Good effort. Aerobically I feel pretty fantastic. Body's holding up well. I think I still have to push for a longer run at some point, but happy that one's in the books, pretty chuffed. So, and it's so far a beautiful day, which is cherry on top. All right, catch you on the next one.